Hey y'all, so today I'm going to show you how to make this super easy pencil pouch. I don't know about you all, but it is time for my kids to go back to school and I couldn't be more excited. So we're going to start this tutorial with a 6mm crochet hook. And let me just point out really quickly, I ended up making my pouch with Charisma yarn, but it's easier for me to show you this pattern in a single color yarn. So I'm going to use this red nylon yarn. This is not what I made my pencil pouch out of, just easier for the tutorial purposes. Okay, start by making yourself a slip knot and then place that on your crochet hook. Now you're going to start your project with a foundation chain in an odd number. I will put my pattern and what I use over on my blog. If you want to make the exact pencil pouch that I did, I'll put that information over my blog. Otherwise, just go ahead and start by making yourself a foundation chain of an odd number. Okay, and remember, making a foundation chain is just yarning over and then pulling through. So you're going to place the yarn around the crochet hook and just pull through until you get the desired number of stitches, as long as it's in an odd number. Okay, this is what it's looking like. Then you're going to make a row of single crochet stitches. So we're going to go into the second stitch from the hook, insert our crochet hook, pull through, yarn over, and then pull through the 2 loops. That's a single crochet stitch, and you'll continue doing that in every stitch across until you get to the end of the row. Okay. Yarn over, insert your crochet hook, yarn over, and then pull through. Alright, now if I go fast with any of these stitches that you're not able to catch on, please check the description box. I have a link for every one of these stitches in slower motion. Make sure you get a stitch in that last stitch in the row. Okay, chain 3 and then turn your work. Alrighty, now we're going to do a row of double crochet stitches. So that first chain of 3 is going to count as your first double crochet stitch, so we're not going to use that very first hole. Go into the next space, your second stitch in the row, and you're going to do your first double crochet stitch. Well, your second, but your first. Okay. Now I may be going a little fast for you if you have not done the double crochet stitch, so let me just show you here how to do that. So you're just going to yarn over, just put the yarn around the crochet hook, go into the stitch, just like that, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Okay, and that's what it's going to start to look like. You're going to continue to do double crochet stitches until you get to that very last stitch there. Okay, come back on camera. I've done the row, and I'm going to just make sure that I get a double crochet stitch right there in that last stitch. And this is what's going to keep your work looking even and neat. Okay, guys. So once you have that, you're going to chain 1 and then turn your work. Okay, now at this point you're going to do another row of single crochet stitches. Insert your hook, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2. And you're going to do single crochet stitches all the way down and all the way across the row. Okay. So just keep going till you get to the end there. Now you want to make sure that you get a single crochet stitch into that chain of 3. Otherwise your work is not going to look symmetric. It's not going to look even, and that's not what we want for this project. So just make a single crochet stitch into the chain of 3. And as you can see there, it does turn out to be pretty even. Okay, now we're going to get to the good stuff. So just go ahead and chain 3 and then turn your work, and now we're going to start our actual pattern. Now this stitch that we're working is called the alpine stitch. I do have a tutorial over on my channel that goes slower if you can't catch on here. So what we have here is those double crochet stitches that we created, that created what we call a post, and that's what I'm trying to show you here. Each one of those double crochet stitches is a post. So you have a post, and on top of the post you have a single crochet stitch. So you're going to yarn over, you're going to go around the post. So insert the crochet hook and push the post forward. See how that looks there? Yarn over, pull back through. Then you're going to continue doing a double crochet stitch. That is your first push, I don't know what you want to call it, your first alpine stitch, I don't know. After you do that, then you're going to skip that post. So you're going to go into the single crochet stitch that's above the post. So I hope that makes sense. So we just worked around one post. So instead of us going around the next post, we're not. We're going to go and do a double crochet stitch into the single crochet stitch. That sounds wordy, but just watch the screen. Okay, the next post, as you can see there, we're going to go around that post. So you can kind of see, we're going to go around a post, skip a post, okay? Around a post, skip a post. Now the post that we skip, we're going to do a double crochet stitch into the single crochet stitch. Does that make sense, guys? See there? And this is why I wanted to use this solid color yarn, because it's so much easier to see. Could you imagine me trying to show you this with that variegated yarn? Okay, so you kind of see it as you work it. You'll really be able to see it. Pull your yarn apart a little bit, and that way you can really just determine where your posts are. Okay. So there's your next post, and that next post you're going to do a front post stitch. Front post stitch again is just going behind it, pushing it forward, and then completing your double crochet stitch. Continue doing this all the way down until you get to the end. Okay, here we are at the end, and you're going to do your front post stitch, and you're going to end your row with a double crochet stitch into the single crochet stitch, just like this. Okay, so for this entire project you're going to end the row with a double crochet stitch. All right, this is what it should look like. I love this stitch. This is like right up there with the bead stitch. Chain one, turn your work. So once you have it, you're going to do single crochet stitches all the way across. Okay, so again, if you have to pull your project apart just a little to see your stitches, you're going to do a single crochet stitch all the way across. Okay, went through this just a little quickly because I feel like you guys probably have the single crochet stitch down. Okay, right there, make sure you get one in that very end stitch. Now you're going to chain 3 and then turn your work. Now remember, the chain 3 counts as your first double crochet stitch. So you see how that very first one there, it's already kind of raised. That's how you know you're going to do your double crochet stitch. So wherever you have a raised stitch, that's where you're going to do a double crochet stitch. If you look right next to it, it's kind of flat. That one you're going to do the front post stitch to. And again, guys, this is a lot easier to see than to hear. So if you just kind of watch the screen, you'll probably be able to catch on. Okay, so in there, you're going to do a double crochet stitch. And then the next one, you're going to do a front post double crochet stitch. Front post means just go behind the post. So insert your hook behind the post, push it forward, yarn over, and then continue doing a double crochet stitch. So this is called a front post double crochet stitch, what you just completed. And you all, this is the pattern for your pouch. I'll show you a few more times on camera, but this is your pattern. You see it there? So that one is where you're going to put your front post, and then you're going to put your double crochet, front post, double crochet. Got it? See how that looks? Super cool. Okay, here we are. Now let's get our pouch created. We've completed, we're going to call this a crochet fabric, okay? You're going to need your crochet fabric, your zipper. I used a felt liner, and I had a ruler, measuring tape, yarn needle. I had some stick pins, sewing needle, and thread to match the match the liner, and I also used a glue gun. Okay, those are the things that I used to create my pouch. So this is the zipper I ended up going with, a little bit different than what I showed you initially. I wanted it to be longer. What you're going to do is you're going to glue the zipper down to the crochet fabric. Now, my disclaimer that's scrolling across the bottom of the screen, I used the wrong side. You guys make sure that the pretty side, the alpine stitch side, is facing down, okay? I ended up having, you'll see at the end, I ended up fixing it, but save yourself all the hassle, okay? You're going to sandwich the zipper in between the crochet fabric and your liner. So open up your zipper, face it down, and then you're going to glue it. I glued it on one instance, and I stick pinned the other, but I wanted you to know the glue helps keep everything together before you sew it, if that makes sense. So you don't have to use the glue, just makes it easier during this process right here. Okay, so you're going to sew across. I don't do that on camera, and this is what it looks like. I just used a dark color yarn. And for the other side, same situation. You're going to glue the zipper to the liner, and then you're going to glue the fabric to the zipper. And this is what it looks like. And see, I use stick pins. I want to show you. I did use stick pins on this side and not the glue. That was just to show you that you could use either one. And when you go to sew it, you just unzip it and then just sew it across. And this is what it looks like once you get it sewn down. Now, I do recommend sewing it. You could just use the glue, but because this is going to be in my kids' book bag, they're a little bit more rougher. I want to make sure that it stays together. So that liner that's in there, while you can just sew it and not worry about it, I glued my liner together because you're dealing with pencils, you're dealing with compasses, you're dealing with scissors. I didn't want it to poke through the crocheted fabric, okay? So I glued down my felt liner, and then I just went ahead and sewed across to kind of sew everything together. See there on the screen? I mean, and that's really it, you all. I had the hardest part, of course, was creating your crochet fabric and then sewing everything down. I went up and down twice because I wanted to make sure that it's secure. And that's pretty much it. I did add a pom-pom to this one, but you could add a tassel. You don't have to put anything at all if you don't want. But this is it. This is what it looks like. It holds all the pencils that you see there, the compass or the protractor, the calculator, everything you see went into that bag. So that's it, guys. Again, information will be over on my blog. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comment section down below, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye.